Did a few things to the Camaro tonight. Out in this cold weather, it's like 30 degrees. And this is just I work in a little carport. It's been boxed in on the ends, but it's just a carport. Gravel floor, sucks. Thinking about, I mean, I had a garage before that was off the ground and it just had boards on the floor. Thinking about just because pouring concrete just costs too much, so thinking about just putting some like 2x10s or something like that, 2x12s or whatever, down on the ground and put some, try to level the gravel the best I can and put like 2x4s underneath them to tie them all together. I was thinking about doing that because laying on gravel working on a car sucks. But anyway, I redid my custom ram air intake thing. I did have just this attached there, like right there, and it was going down. I didn't even have a filter on it. The filter, it's a K&M filter. It's over there behind my cup, but air don't move around sharp edges very good like that. Plus, you're not getting very much of a ram air effect with it. It was just pointing down there towards the radiator. But I bought this little plastic piece. It's really stout. I mean, it ain't gonna buckle or nothing, but the thing was like 45 bucks on Summit. But you can turn it and pull it and make it long, make it short. But what I did was I ran it down there because I don't have the fog lights in this car. I ran it down there to the fog light hole. I was going to put it on the outside of the fog light hole, but I thought that would look kind of stupid. But yeah, it'll go right in there like that. And I left some room around the edges there. And it's got a velocity stack. I left some room around the edges so the velocity stack can do its work, bringing that air in around a curve rather than sharp edges. Plus, air is going to be blowing straight in there, and I think that's going to be better than having it with that piece just, straight down and sharp edges there. But something else I done was, it kind of looks ugly, but that those fittings, I thought it was my flares were leaking because it would barely leak on the top and the bottom of that. Come to find out, it wasn't my flares. It was the fitting that goes in to the proportioning valve was leaking. So what I did was I got some of that yellow gas top tape that you use on fittings like that for like natural gas and stuff. And after I put that on, I put some of this on. And I let it set for about, I dried it up and cleaned it up real good and put that on there and then put that on there. I let it set for about 4 days and I put it back on the car. I went in there and pumped the crap out of the brakes and nothing's coming out just yet. But the brakes need to be bled, so. Which, right now, where I lowered the car, I don't know how much it's gonna squat when I take off, so I'm gonna roll the fenders. So I got it all ready to roll the fenders. I ordered one of those eBay fender roller tools. I'm just waiting for it to come. And I'm gonna roll the fenders and bleed the brakes, and might even lower it just a little bit more in the back. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna sit in the car, my big short fat butt. I weigh like 320. I'm only like 5'5". I'm a short pudgy dude. But anyway, I'm gonna have someone measure from the bottom of the frame in the back to the ground, and the front of the frame in the back and the front to the ground. And I guess you want the front just about a 1/2 inch lower, if that. But like I said, once I roll the fenders, I can still go down a little bit in the back. And I can also go up a little bit in the front by putting spacers on the shocks. And even if I do that, that'll even let me lower the spring a little bit, which even give me more rebound. But that's where we're at. I think it's going to work a little bit better, especially with that velocity stack on there and right there where the air is going to be rushing through that fog light hole. Or hopefully that's the way it works. That's the idea anyway. But that's what we've done to this. And then Friday I'm going to order a anti-roll bar drag bar. And I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to order some new tires before race season starts. Get those mounted. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the wear indicator tread. There ain't much left. So, new set of tires, anti-roll drag bar, and on a 200 shot of nitrous with a 1 second delay, this thing's 60 foot. It's the exact same as it does on motor. On motor, it doesn't spin though. On nitrous, it does spin. I mean, I think this thing should cut, I don't know, a 1.3 something. At least a 1.4 on nitrous. But it's just spinning too bad. That last nitrous pass I had, it spun so bad it wheel hopped. I almost let off the gas because wheel hopping is very, very, very rough on your drivetrain. So, but I stayed in it and ran a 10.4 to 130. It should do a lot better than that. It should run upper nines with that 200 shot. But that was with the that was with a 1 second delay. Just a cheap little controller that just ramps in the nitrous when you first hit it. And I just got that sitting back here for now. I need to find a place to put that. But anyway, that's where we're at. Once we get this one all done with the stuff I want to get done, then I'm pulling in the 80 Trans Am. It's sitting out there, and we kept going up in jets on it, and it kept getting faster and faster. But I think we're getting a little too high on the jets, so I was gonna take the power valve out and make those power valve jets a little bit bigger, and then lower the front jets back down some, and go back to the track, keep messing with the jets, see what it traps the best at, and then mess with the timing some, see what it traps the best at. And then I'm gonna lower his front end. His front end is way up in there, and it don't hardly have no rebound either. So we're putting some QA1 adjustable shocks on it. His is getting a mini nice controller, and we got some travel limiters just in case it wants to willy. But double adjustable, I say coilovers, they're double adjustable shocks. They don't have the coilover with them, but we're gonna lower the front end of that car because, like I said, it's way up in there. Get out here and look at it. It's dark and cold. But yeah, that can come way down. And we just got an alignment on this, so I hope lowering it some doesn't mess with that. I don't know a whole lot about that, but anyway, I don't know what size tires those are, but it's getting small skinnies up here. We got some skinnies for it too. We're gonna load the front end, put them adjustable shocks on it, and it's getting these skinnies. I bought these used for 300 bucks. Pro Stars, and those got some tread left in them. They're 24 by 5.15. We just got to get some longer studs and some shanks to go in there. Get those on. So I got a lot to do to these things. Trying to get that one to at least 11.5. Well, you can't see it, it's dark up there. It came back in. And this one, we're trying to get it 10s on motor and 9s on spray. that one right there, I think the Trans Am, the 80 Trans Am, I think it's going to do a lot better on nitrous because it's got a tighter stall converter. This one with the 14 gears, it's towards the end of the quarter, it's about running out of gear at 130 miles an hour. So I don't know, I might have to switch this thing back to 373s or something. But yeah, I think the 80 Trans Am, once we get it dialed in on motor and start spraying it, I think it's going to respond with those. It's got 355 gears and a tighter stall. It's got like a 2800, 3200 stall in it, which that ain't enough gear or stall for the motor. The motor would go a lot faster if it had a looser stall and some bigger gears in it. But it's hard to drive a turbo 350 on the highway. We drive these cars. It's hard. This one's got the overdrive in it, but it's hard to drive a turbo 350 on the highway at 80 miles an hour with 410, 373 gears even, or up. It's just, you're just too much RPM. And then with the 355s and a turbo 350, it cruises at 70 down the highway just fine. This one's got overdrive. It does 80 down the highway, no problem, at like $3 grand. I've drove it 2 hours and raced it and drove it back, no problems at all. But eventually I'll probably switch it to a turbo 400 because I want a trans brake. So, and the trans brakes for the 4L60Es, they're very expensive and not recommended that you do that. But anyway, there's where we're at.